Nə görə? Yağışda bütün pislə qalır hər şey. Ona görə. Gələn sən?
Bilməm, hələ də bilməm, böyük ehtimal yox. Xəbər edəcəm də sənə sabah.
6-cı xəbərlə.
Yaxşı, 6-cı gün deyirəm. Çox nə yeyirsən? Badam yeyirsən orada.
Başqa düşür səsi.
Xart deyirsən. Heç gör Ramil səsini çıxardım. Bəni necə qaşıqlayırsa burada.
Sequence öyrəndiniz.
Mən heç nəyə baxmamışam. Ramil baxıb bu günə. Mən PlayStation vurmuşam.
Alı buradadır.
Sən niyə Əliyə allayırsan?
Çünki alıdır.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll wait for a few minutes and then get started. Okay, let's get started. Let's cover triggers today. Okay, let me open my Excel. Guys, I forgot to fill this out. Can you guys help me? So what did we cover yesterday? This was 6:10.
Abdul, your screen is not visible.
Oh wait, sorry, I'm not presenting. Okay, I'm presenting now. So what did we cover yesterday? We covered view, materialized view, and we covered one more topic, right? Views, materialized views, and sequences. Right? We covered view, materialized view, and sequence. This was day 9. Today is day 10. Today I will cover triggers. I will cover SQL loader. Okay. You guys remember what we did day 7 and day 8? What did we cover on Monday and Tuesday? No, wait, this is 6:6. 6:11, 6:10, 6:9. It's 6:7, 6:6.
Case decode?
What is it?
Case and decode, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, one second. So I'm confused here. So I had class on 6:4, 6:5. I had class on 6:2, 6:3, 6:4, 6:2, 6:3, 6:4. And this is 6:6. This is 6:6. This is 6:7. And okay. So case, decode, and grants, right? Or did I cover grants yesterday?
Yes, we did cover.
Yesterday, right?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. What did we cover on these 2 days? I forgot. Case, decode, and what?
We covered on day 7, we covered group by.
Yes, correct. Group by having join. No, group by having delete dupes, row ID, and row num. On day 9, day 8, this 6:9 on Monday, I only covered case and decode. Did I cover something more?
Monday, we don't have class, Abdul.
Oh, sorry, Tuesday.
Abdul, what about the concatenates?
Concatenate was before, but yeah, we did part of it. Okay. Concatenate we already covered here. So, but yeah, I'll put it here because we did that exercise. Just these 3 topics on Tuesday. Okay, that's okay. If we remember, we'll just go back and add.
Like L trim, R trim,
Oh, index.
L tab,
Index.
index.
Yep. I have it here. OID case index. Okay.
And L-trim, R-trim, LPAD.
Well, was it on this day or was it on Sunday?
I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. I think so.
Yeah,
But we learned that.
Yeah, over here, I think. Oh, why do I have LPAD, RPAD, LTrim, RTrim here? No, it's not this here. Okay, anyways, we'll get started. Okay. So today we will do triggers. Anybody has any idea about triggers? Okay. So you have employee table and you have some columns in there. Okay, one.
Before you starting, can you a little bit zoom in?
So I have employee ID, name, department ID, and salary for an employee, and 220 and then 2000, and then 3 Ali, 30 and 3000. I have data like this. Okay, the employees get paid. Employees get paid out of this salary. Okay, so the application which transfers salary reads data from this table. There is an application built on top of this table which reads data from this column and transfers salary. Okay, now you work in the data warehouse team, so you have access to this table, right? You have insert, update, delete, select all privileges on this table. You go into this table, and you don't like Ali, so you change his salary from 3000 to 1000. Okay, and you do this on the 29th of the month, and then 30th of the month he gets paid, and suddenly he sees that the salary is very less, right? So he goes back and says, why did I receive very less salary? I was supposed to receive 3000, I received 1000. So they start investigating and they see the application transferred the data from this table, right? And it has only 1000. Now they have no idea who changed this, right? They have no idea who changed this. So there is a concept called triggers. Triggers are used on sensitive columns to track changes. Simple. Trigger is a database object which is created at the column level to track changes. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, so let's proceed. So I'm going to create a trigger on this column, and any changes on this column, we will be able to track changes. Okay, so let me go to my database. Can you guys see my screen, my database, and the size? I'm going to create a table called emp underscore 6 underscore 11, something like this. So I will have emp ID number, emp underscore name, varchar 215. Department ID is number again. Salary is number. Insert into table. Values. I will insert 3 rows. 1, comma, 2, comma, 10. So Saturday will be the last class for SQL, and then Sunday we will start PLSQL. So Abdul, sorry, what did I? Also, So take a look at that. And now I'm going to query this table. Okay. If I update Abdul's salary, that information will not be tracked, right? We wouldn't know. So let's create a trigger. Okay, how do you create a trigger? So the logic to create trigger is like this: create or replace trigger, and then give it a name. So usually we give indexes start with IDX, primary key constraints start with PK, unique constraint start with UK, not null start with MN, right? All these, there is a, you can type in ABC, 1, 2, 3, XYZ, you can type in anything you want. But if somebody is looking at a database object which starts with TR, they would know this is a trigger. If somebody looks at a database object which starts with PK, they should know it's a primary key. Okay, you can create anything you want, but I'm going to keep it starting with TR. So this is a trigger which was created on this table. This was created on the salary column. If anybody is looking at this, they should know this object is okay. Suppose you don't even have this. If somebody says, can you tell me what this thing is doing? You can say this is a trigger created on this table on this column. Okay. Your code shouldn't just work. Okay. It should make sense also. Okay. So create or replace trigger. And I'm saying, how should this trigger work? This should work on every time you update a column. After you update a column, of which column? The name of the column is salary. On which table? On HR dot. This clear. Create or replace trigger and give it some name after update of this column on this table. And then you have to type in for each row, and then type in begin, and then you can type in dbms underscore out, dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, and you can pass a message here saying, salary was updated. Okay, you could pass a generic message saying dbms saying that this salary was updated. We are going to make it more meaningful. For now, just assume that this is what we are passing, and then you will type in end, and then this. Create or replace trigger. Give it any name. After update of this column on this table, for each row begin, you can pass this message. Okay, let me create a trigger like this. It says statement.
Maybe because of the semicolon before the
Yeah, I just wanted to say salary was updated in single
quote.
Oh yeah, why did I put double quote? Sorry. I'm going to execute this again because it says create or replace. If it's already there, if I execute it, it will replace. Okay, it says trigger compliant. Sorry guys. Okay, now I can get rid of this. Okay, so now let me type in this message dbms underscore output. Sorry, set server out. You just have to execute this one time. Okay, set server output on. Okay, so you guys understood the syntax for the triggers, right? Execute this. Once again, people who just joined, I am explaining triggers. Trigger is a database object which is used to track changes on a sensitive column. So if somebody's salary gets updated, that changes should be tracked. Okay. Now, if I don't have a trigger, if I update the salary from 1,000 to 500, nobody would know. So I'm creating a trigger. So anytime this column gets updated, this message will be triggered. Okay, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but in 5 minutes it will make more sense because we are going to make it more powerful. This statement as more powerful. We will add more things to it. So now I said create or replace trigger after update of salary on this table for each row begin, and we are going to display this message on the screen. Okay, now if I let me refresh the tables and emp_6_11. See triggers. So you have a trigger. You guys should know every single tab over here. Okay. So there is a trigger created also, just like you have all underscore tables, all tab columns, all underscore indexes, all underscore views, all underscore constraints. You also all underscore sequences. You also have triggers, all underscore triggers. So this is the trigger I just created. Okay. So anytime you create a trigger, it gets logged into all underscore triggers like this. Anytime you create a database object, it gets stored into its respective table. So I will say where owner equals HR. So it will show me all the triggers in the HR schema. So I have 3. Is this correct? How do I know this is correct? So I will go to the triggers. So I'm in HR schema. And if I see the triggers, I see 3. Okay. So this is a shortcut. This is writing a query. For everything, there is a shortcut. You can create a trigger by using shortcuts. Okay, you can right click on a table and create a trigger. Okay, see, you can create a trigger, create trigger, and you can create a trigger from the shortcut. Okay, but I'm going to show you with this. You guys can figure that out. Okay, so anyways, let's get rid of this. See what happens when I try to update this table. So I will say update this table. Set salary equals to 500. Abdul's salary was 1000. I'm going to either increase it or decrease it. Any changes? So I'm going to say salary equals to 500, where emp ID equals 1. See, you see a message on the screen that salary was updated. Is that clear to everyone? Is that clear to everyone? Previously, if you do not have this trigger, you will not see. You will just see one row updated, commit complete. Now, let's make this more powerful. Okay, let's make this more powerful. So I'm going to add more features to this. Okay, I'm not going to say just salary was updated. Okay, this is like a very generic message. So I'm going to say type in old dot salary. I will say over here. I'm going to say salary was updated. It says salary was updated, and then I will put pipe. You know what is pipe, right? Concatenation. So if I type in colon old dot salary, it will give you the old salary. And if you type in, okay, let me recompile this trigger. Okay, now what is Abdul's salary? Abdul's salary is 500. Let me make Abdul's salary as 300. See, now this is more, it gives you more details. See, salary was updated and I'm seeing the old salary. Okay, so I can make this like this. So salary was updated, old salary was this, and then I will put pipe, and I'll put single. New salary is pipe, and then I'll put colon new dot salary. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? So I'm going to re-execute this. I'm going to recompile this trigger. Okay, clear out these messages. I will say I'm going to make Abdul's salary 200. See, salary was updated. Old salary was 300. New salary is 200. So I'm tracking changes on that column, right? If I query this table, I don't even know what the old salary was, but I have that information on the screen here. Is this clear to everyone? Okay, I can keep adding to it. Salary was updated.
But Abdul, if the same person who is making the changes or updates is getting back this message, I would rather send an email to the HR director or whoever is in charge of finances that this is what's going on.
I didn't complete yet. So we
Oh.
don't. So this information, the next part 2 will be, this information will be stored in a table. Okay, and it will also. Okay. So this is not what you do at work, because right now it's only showing on the screen, right? But I just wanted you guys to understand how triggers work. The next part, the second half of triggers is, anybody updates anybody's salaries, there will be an audit table where that information will get stored, and nobody has update access on that table, or you can only insert information. Okay, so I'm going to make this more powerful. Old salary was 300, new salary is 200. I will put pipe, and then I will say, I will put dot salary was updated by, and then I'll put pipe. This is going in the next line. Salary was updated by I will say user. Salary was updated by user, and then I'll say at, and I'll put pipe sysdate. Let me recompile this trigger. So this trigger is more powerful now. Okay, let me change Abdul's salary to 100. Sorry, change Abdul's salary to 100. Clear this out. Salary was updated. Old salary was 200. New salary is 100. Salary was updated by HR at 11 June. Okay, I don't want to see data in that format. Does anybody have that altered session? Yeah, this one. So let me execute this. Let me change Abdul's salary to 50. I'm currently logged in as HR, right? I'm currently logged in as HR. If I'm logged in as Surab, it will say salary was updated by Surab. Because yesterday I created a connection or user called, or schema called Turab, right? So if I logged in as Turab, and so I'm going to execute this. Salary was updated. Old salary was 100. New salary is 50. Salary was updated by HR at 06/11/2020 at this time. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, it is clear.
Okay, so let me give you this and this. If you understand this, then I'll show you the second. Sorry. If you understand this, then I'll show you the second part. Please execute this. Try it out. Okay, now, like I said, this is not how we do triggers at work. This is just for you to understand. Now I'm going to tell you how things happen at work. Okay. So we will type create or replace trigger name after update of salary. So you will have an audit table at work. So create amp underscore audit in this column, create table hr.amp underscore audit, and this will have columns like old underscore salary number, new underscore salary number, and it will say updated by, and this will be varchar 215, and I will have date underscore time. This will be date data type, and then you will have update old salary and use old salary, new salary, updated by, and you can also put the person's employee ID. Okay, employee underscore ID. You can put employee underscore ID at the start. Here we will create an audit table. Anytime this table gets updated, data should be inserted into this table. Okay, and users will not have update or delete access on this. So create table, employee ID, old salary, new salary, updated by, updated. Okay, perfect. This should be enough. Okay, table got created. And I'm going to give you this. So if I do select star on this table is empty. Table is empty because did not insert any, and you will not insert anything manually in this. Then this audit table loses its entire purpose. Okay, so create or replace trigger after update of salary on for each row begin. We will not say dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. What does this do? It displays this message on the screen. We don't want to display a message on the screen. Okay, instead we will write insert into that table which we just created. Anytime this base table gets updated, audit table, anytime the salary in this table gets updated, we want to not display messages on the screen. We want to insert it into this audit table. Okay, we will say insert into this table. How do you insert records into a table? Insert into a table values, right? Insert into a table values column, just like that, right? Insert into table values. You will open bracket. What is the first column in your audit table? The first column in your audit table is employee underscore ID. So over here you will type in old dot employee underscore ID. Oh, sorry, it's emp ID. Okay, what is the second column you have? Sorry, what is the second? Let me take a screenshot of this actually. Old salary, new salary updated. Okay, let me query this table now. So employee ID will go into this column, and then I'm not using the name old salary. So I will old salaries, second column is old salary. So I will say comma old dot salary. Old dot salary will go into this column, and then after you update, the new salary will go into the third column. So comma colon new dot salary. and then you have updated. So over here you will have time. So you will just say sysdate. Sysdate is not going to be old or new. Okay. Fourth column got inserted and updated by. So you will say updated by. You can just say user. User also is not going to be old or new. Okay. Then I'm going to recreate the trigger. Okay. Trigger got compiled. Now when I update, so what is Abdul's salary now? Abdul's salary is 50. Let me make it 5,000. So now, right now, the message will not be displayed on the screen. Instead, value too large for an audit updated by. Why is that? Oh, sorry. This trigger is wrong. User should be here. Sysdate should be here. Nobody told me. Right? User should go into updated by. Time will be the sysdate. Okay. Let me recompile this trigger. Trigger got compiled. Okay. Abdul's salary is 50. Now let me make Abdul's salary as 5,000. See, one row got updated. You won't see this message salary was updated because we, instead of displaying on the screen, I'm saying insert the value into this audit table. When I query this audit table, I will see employee ID 1, old salary is 500, new salary is 5,000, updated by HR. Update time is this. Let me make Abdul's salary as 6,000. Row got updated, commit complete, not displaying message on the screen because I said don't do dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. I said after update of each row, insert. This is a stored procedure. If you guys are interested, I'm going to be covering this more in detail starting next week. This is PLSQL. Okay, you can write blocks like this. So I updated this table again. So employee ID, and see the new salary, now it became the old salary, and this is the new salary. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, it is clear. Abdul, if any different user is going to do this, is it going to display the users also or not really?
Yeah. So right now I'm logged in as HR, right? I'm logged in as HR. For example, if I'm logged in as Turab, so if I logged in as Turab, it will say updated by Turab.
Oh, okay.
Okay. See how I'm logged in as. I'm logged in as HR. If I'm logged in as Turab, it will say updated by Turab. So at work, you will log in as your own user ID, right? I will not log in as Turab, or you will not log in as HR. You will log in as Abdul, and everybody has their own user ID and password. So if you update this table, it will say Turab here. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
Let me actually do that. Let me log in as Turab. So right now I'm logged in as Turab. Okay, I will create this table. Okay, and I will create a trigger on this table. Oh, insufficient privileges. Okay, let me give full access to Turab. Turab doesn't have access to create triggers. So let me give full access to Turab.
Abdul, why you don't update right away the audit table?
What?
Why you don't update the audit table? You create a new table and a new trigger.
Because
You can
I
just
know.
log in as a Turab and then update it. You know? Yeah, just
Actually,
update
let me try that. Okay, actually, that's a better idea. Okay, I'm logged in as Turab, and I'm logged in as Turab, and I'll try to update this HR table from when I logged in as Turab. So let me make Abdul's ID. Yeah, instead of creating something brand new. Okay, does it say one row? Oh, table or view does not exist because Turab does not have. Let me see if I can access this table when I log in as Turab. So I might have to give the privileges. Might say table or view does not exist. Yeah, it says table or view does not exist.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's give Turab access here. So remember what we did in the previous class?
Yes, grant user, grant.
Yeah, I can
Yes.
either write over here. I can say grant update to Turab on. I can either do it this way or I can use a shortcut. Why is this saying red? Grant.
I think when you need to change the on HR to Turab. To Turab is gonna be on the end.
Oh yeah, right. So grant update on grant update on to Turab. Yeah, this is the syntax. Okay, grant succeeded. Now Turab will be. So I'm logged in as Turab. Let me see if Turab can see this table. So if you give update access, by default you will get select access also. Insufficient privilege. Okay. Let me just give DBA. Let me give full access to Turab. Oh, is that correct? No, grant all. What was that we did? Grant all.
Yes, grant all.
Okay, grant succeeded. Now Turab can view this table, update this table, do everything. See, okay. Now let me try to update this. So one row updated, commit complete. Now if I do select star on my audit table, see, it will say that Turab. That was a good example. Thank you. I don't know why I was creating everything brand new. Now it says Turab updated this employee's information from 6,000 to 7,000 at this time. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, it's clear.
Try it out. What did I give? Create or replace trigger. Or let me give you the recompile that trigger. Don't display it on the screen, because if you display on the screen and if you close this, that message will be lost. Okay, that's okay. Is that clear? Anybody has any questions? Okay, good. This question is asked in every interview. Whatever we are covering in the last 3-4 days, those are very important questions. Okay. Fahad, did they ask you this question in interviews? What
They
is
asked a
trigger?
couple of questions. Yeah, they asked about trigger as well
Yeah,
and
not what.
stored procedure.
Yeah, I'll cover stored procedures in detail, but trigger, they will ask every single interview, what is a trigger and how do you use it? Okay. What was I going to cover next? Okay.
Abdul,
Yeah.
so about the interview questions, like
Mhm.
if they like when they ask about the, let's say, trigger, do they ask to write down any query or just by the word, like just a verbal
Okay.
answer?
Good question. Recently, very recently, they started this. Very recently, some companies have started asking you to write code on the screen. They will do a WebEx call or a Skype call, and they will give you access. They'll ask you to log into an application, and it'll ask you to write codes in that. Okay, it will ask you. Previously, they would just ask, "How do you do it?" And problem is, a lot of people were never practicing. They were just saying, "Oh, trigger, it's easy. Oh, it's a database object. It is used to track changes on a column, on sensitive columns." And they'll say, "Yeah, I know the syntax to use a write, create, or replace trigger." And then they'll say, "Yeah, I've worked on this." So people, those people, interviewers used to be like, "Okay, I think this guy knows it." But once those people go to work, they have no idea, because a lot of things you can just memorize, and then when they ask you, they'll just say it on the call, right? Recently, a lot of companies have started asking you to write code on the call itself. You don't have to worry. Okay, you don't have to worry, especially when the salaries are high. If they're asking you to do that, that means it's a big company and they put in all that money to especially Google, Airbnb, Uber, Amazon. When you interview for these companies, they'll ask you to write code and show it on the screen.
Abdul, I was having an interview with HBO, and they asked me to write a SQL code in T-SQL for, like, the scenario was that if I have numbers from 1 to 10, so I should write the code to return the odd numbers.
Yeah, that's simple, right? That's very simple. So who knows how to do this? I actually showed it in class. I want to display all the employee IDs, which is even number, like 198. I don't want to display 199, 200. Who can do this? I covered this in class. I remember very clearly. I remember.
Yeah, there is a specific function for that.
Yes.
It's you can show the even numbers and then
Yeah. What is that function? Okay, that means you guys are not taking my words seriously. So you will say where mod. I was waiting for this word. If anybody could.
yes.
No, now if you say yes, oh, I remembered. No, that's it. Now they'll say next question. Let's move on. So two. Okay, so what does this mean? Mod means division. Employee ID means this column. Divide, comma 2 means when you divide this number by 2, and if you return 0, that means it's an odd number. 198, 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006. If I want to display even number, odd number, not equals to 0. 199, 201, 203. Okay. So you guys didn't clear the first question. Who remembers?
Abdul, if you put equals to 1, is it gonna display odd numbers?
What was that?
I'm saying if you say equals to 1 instead of 0,
You tell
will
me.
it display odd numbers?
You tell me what it's going to do.
I think it's gonna be odd numbers also, I think so.
See, this thing is equal to, it will return the same output as this number, this equal. When you divide something by 2, when you divide something by 2, these two will return the same values.
Yeah,
Why?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can either do this way or this way.
Oh,
Because when you divide something by 2, either you will get remainder as 0 or 1. You cannot have, when you divide something by 2, you cannot get remainder as 2 or 3 or 4. There's only 2 possibilities. You will only get this or this. So if it's equal to 1 means it will display all odd numbers. And if you say not equals to 0, this will also display all odd numbers. If you want to display all even numbers, you can say not equals to 1. Not equals to means it will all display all zeros. So this will be all odd numbers, or you can say equals to this. This will display all odd numbers. This is a very important interview question for SQL as well as Power Center. How many times did they ask you? Load all employees with even number or odd number.
They ask me every time. It's also important in the Power Center as well,
The
and
same person.
SQL.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
ask this for Power Center and SQL. In Power Center, you will use filter transformation. In filter transformation, you will write mod. Same thing you will write. Exactly the same thing you will write here. Where is used to filter out data, right? In Power Center, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, my screen is all messed up. I don't know. I wanted to show something. Okay, it's all messed up. Okay. So in Power Center, you don't have to type where, you have to drag and drop a filter transformation. In filter transformation, you copy paste this, just like this. Whatever you can do in SQL, you can do in Power Center. That's why I want you to be perfect in SQL. If you're perfect in SQL, you will be, Power Center will be it will be fun to learn. Otherwise, you will not like Power Center. Because in Power Center, you don't have to type anything. You will just drag and drop things from the left side. If you want to filter data, you will have a filter transformation here. You will drag and drop. Okay, if you want to join two tables over here, you write a join statement, right? In Power Center, you will just drag and drop joiner transformation. It's more drag and drop. I want to show something. It will always. See, if you want to use, this is filter transformation. I want to get all the results which are fail. I will just, sorry. See, this is sequence. This is what I covered yesterday. Sequence. See, this is exactly what you saw, right? Start value, increment by end value, current cycle. This is the same thing we did yesterday. In Power Center, you don't have to write that code. Remember yesterday I wrote that code, create sequence, start value, min value. See, filter, I'm not going to write where, all those things. I'll just go to the ports, double click on result and say fail. It will load all fail. So filter transformation is here. So I will just drag and drop filter. If you want to join, if you want to do group by, you can use this. If you want to join, you can use this. You can use this to join. If you want to sort data, like order by a salary descending or ascending, you can use this. Union transformation. I mean, I'm going to cover union. So this, anything you want to do in, if you want to concatenate two columns, you can do it in this one, expression transformation. Okay, whatever you do in Power Center, you're going to do it over here. Whatever you do in SQL, you're going to. This is used to update records. Update. You don't have to write an update statement. You just drag and drop this one, and it will update. Okay. So if you know SQL, Power Center is going to be very easy. All of these things are. This is update statement. This is concatenation. This is filter. This is group by. This is used to join. This is sequence. Ignore. This is used to join. This is pivot. Pivot in SQL. This is rank transformation. I remember I showed you select top one in Oracle in SQL Server. Okay, this is used to sort data. We are not going to do all these. This is going to be union in SQL. Okay, so whatever we do here, it's more like drag and drop. You don't write code here. Okay. So is that clear to everyone? How to get the okay? I was discussing something. I got sidetracked. I don't even know what. So is this clear to everyone? Let me give this employees with odd ID. Okay, triggers clear to everyone? Can we move on to SQL Loader? Let's move on to SQL Loader.
So just a quick question. The audit, the table where you are storing the results from the trigger. So that particular table is it must have very limited or very restricted access, I guess.
I just covered that. I said nobody will have access, update, delete. You will remove those grants on that audit table. Otherwise, it loses its importance, right? Everybody is going and updating the table and then going and deleting records from the audit table. If somebody deletes everything from the audit table, then there's no point in having an audit table, right?
Right.
Only
So basically,
only inserts will be allowed on that.
Okay. So DBA sets it. Okay.
Whoever is creating that table, they will set that.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on. Okay. So for example, there is a table. Create table. I have a table called temp underscore 2020. I have temp ID number. I have name. Character 215. Before that, I think I forgot to show you guys this thing. How do you? So I have this table. I have this table. I want to take a backup of this table. How will I do it? I have this table. I want to take a backup of this table. I think I showed how to take a backup of this table.
Yeah, create table.
So create table hr.emp underscore hr.employees underscore bkp underscore
date
6 underscore 11 as select
as
right. This is how you take a backup. Right now, I want to create a table with the same structure as this, but no data. So what happens if I do this? I will have this table with all these records in it, right? Right? So if I create this, I will have this table which has all the, it has the same structure as this table as well as the data. Right? But I want to create a table which has only the structure of this. It shouldn't have this data. How will you do it?
Where condition we're gonna use one equal to.
Very good. So if, oh sorry, this table is already existing. So let me create a brand new table. So if you do this, see, it says table created, but when you query this table, remember this, if you want to create a backup table with no data in it, just the structure, this is how you do, where 1 equals to 2. I forgot to say that. Okay, anyways, remember that. I'll give it to you. Please make notes. Please make notes of everything. Okay. Let me create this table. I do on this table. Okay. I have a table, an empty table. Okay. If somebody sends you a file and says that, can you please import data into this table? How will you do it? For example, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can.
So load data. Okay, suppose somebody is sending you a file like this. They'll say, here, this is very common at work. You do this every day. They send you a file called Walmart underscore employees, something like this. And in this one, they'll send you emp ID, and they will, how many columns should I create? Okay, I just created 2 columns. They'll send you data like this up to 2, so 3, Sam, 4, Tom, 5, something like this. They'll send you, this is called as a comma separated file, or it's also called as a flat file. Okay, they will email a file like this. Okay, and they'll say, can you please load this data into this table, because database is the best place to store data, because you can write bunch of queries to manipulate the data, right? How are you going to load this data? Will you type in insert into this table values and then open that notepad, copy every line and then paste it here? You copy this and come here and do it like this? No, right? Because you have like millions of records, right? You cannot do like this, right? If it's like 4 or 5 records, you can do, right? So how would you do it? Can everybody
I can tell you one way of doing it.
Okay.
I can create, actually, for each insert, I can create a command from each row from that file.
You're
Like
still doing manual work. I don't want to do any
Uh-huh.
manual work. I don't want to write any create script, anything. Okay.
No, it will not be copy paste. So basically, you can cat that file and then just take the fields and then insert whatever additional text to make it a command. And then, so once all the commands are ready, then you execute.
Okay. So there are 2 ways of doing it. Okay. One way is you can use. Wait 1 second. There are 2 ways of doing it. Okay. First thing is you can, where is that table? Temp underscore 2020. Yeah, you can right click on this table and you can say import data. Where is the file present? It's present on my desktop. I'll click on this, open, and it's asking what kind of delimiter are you using. I'm using a comma delimiter, so I'll just say comma, and then I will say next, 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 and finish. Say OK, and do select star on this table. The data got loaded, right? So you can do right click, import, and then select the file and all those things. Now you have, this is one way of doing it, but this is a lot of manual clicks, right? You don't want to see anything. This is a shortcut of doing. Okay, you have to do so many right click, click, like at least 10 clicks for the data to be loaded, which is good. You can do it, but for everything, you can either write a query for it, or you can, there is a shortcut. Okay. Did you guys understand this part? How to insert data into a table using the import function in the database? Now, there is something called as an SQL loader. There is something called as an SQL loader. Okay. So let me show you. You guys see my screen? So just make sure SQL loader is working on your computer. Yeah, it is working. But something, if it was like this, it would have said it's not the right command, but SQL loader is working on your computer. Okay. SQL loader is working on your computer. Okay. Now we know that SQL loader is working on my screen. So how will I? SQL loader is working on my screen. So you have to create a control file. Okay, you have to create a control file. So right click. Okay, actually just open this and control N. So you will create a control file. What will you write in the control file? Okay, so in your control file, you will type in simple. You're going to say load data, and you will say that is in this location. The data, the file is present in this location. What is the file name? .txt. Right? That is the file name. Load data in file, this location, and then you can say then you can write in load data from this file into table. And what is the name of our table? The name of our table is this. Let me truncate this table. Let me truncate this table. So there is no data in this table. Okay, load data into this table, and always, if you are using SQL loader to load data from a flat file into a table, the table has to be empty. Okay, so you always have to make sure that the table is empty. If that is a limitation. If the table is empty, SQL loader will not work. Okay, so then I will type in fields terminated by, what is the field terminator? It is comma, right? I have a comma separated file right here. Comma separated file. Fields are, this field is terminated by comma. This field is terminated by comma. Okay, So I will say fields terminated by, and then I will type in the column names I have. Column names I have is file, save as. I will, oh, am I going there? Desktop, manual load data. I had some, yeah, load data. And I will call this as Walmart underscore emp underscore control file. I'll just syntaxes.ctl. Okay, the syntaxes.ctl, and I will save it here. I will close this. Let me go back. So I have a data file which has data in it. I created a control file. In this one, I say load data in file, and then I put the location into this table, and then I said truncate, and then I said fields terminated by. This is a comma separated in the file, in the flat file. The file we have comma, each column separated by comma, and then I need to type in the column names here. Okay, save, close. Now I have a data file, I have a control file. Okay, now I will go back here and I will type in. Now I will type in my SQL loader command. So I will type in SQL. Sorry. So I will type in SQL and loader. Sorry, 1 second. SQL loader. Then I'm trying to insert data into HR schema. ORCL PDB. Okay. So user ID, password, and then the database name. And then I will type in control equals. So I will say control equals. Where is my control file present? My control file is present here. And what is the name of my control file? .ctl. Okay. What I'm typing is optional. I can create a log file just in case something gets messed up, just in case there is error messages or anything that can get logged into this. This is optional, okay? But let me still type that. And I want the log file to be created here only. And then I will just say Walmart underscore emp underscore log underscore file dot log. Okay. So SQL loader, user ID, password, database name, control file is in this location. So when I execute this, what will happen? If I execute this, it will go and this is a control file, right? It will execute this control file. It will say load data, pick up the file, load it into this table. Sorry. Okay. Do you see 5 rows loaded successfully? Okay. Now let me go back to the database and do select star on this table. And I will see 5 records got loaded into this table. Is that clear to everyone? So right click and import click is one way. SQL loader is the second way. Now, when see, I had this data file. I have this control file, and this is a log file which got created. It says how many records are there, how many records got loaded, and it will give you all the what time, how much time it took, what was the CPU time, everything it will say. Okay. What will happen if I say a comma something like that? If I say this, okay, and if I go and execute this thing again, okay, so it says 5 rows loaded successfully, and do you see the log file got generated again at 6:46? When you open this, it says invalid number, right? So if you execute the select star on this table, so 5 records will be loaded, and 1 record will be rejected because Tonia has employee ID A, which is not correct. Is that clear?
Yes.
So let me.
So Abdul, I mean, if we had, let's say, I mean, if that line was the first line in the file, like A Tonia, so is it going to error out and abort, or it will still insert the remaining values?
It doesn't matter whether it's on the top or bottom.
Hmm.
It will ignore the bad records, load the good records.
Okay, so it will basically. Okay.
Okay. Now let me get this bad file will tell you which is a bad record. Okay. The log file will tell you how much time it took, how many successfully it loaded, how many it ignored, all those things. Okay. This one and this one will get generated every time. Okay. Now in my source file, in my this file, I will say 9. What will happen when I run this? How many records will get loaded into my table?
One.
Which one?
Just
One Abdul will get loaded. These 2 will get rejected. This one, because why will this record get rejected?
more.
Length.
Character length.
15, more than
Data,
15.
data length.
And this one will get rejected because of data type. This because of data length. Okay. Now I'm going to run this. One row loaded successfully. And now if you see the log file, will say I read these many records, this many error and all those things. And if you look at the bad file, you will see the bad records. Okay. Is that clear to everyone? Now, every time can everybody go on mute, please? Every time I don't want to execute this up. Okay. So what I will do is I will copy this. I will copy that statement. I will open a notepad, notepad++. Oh, it did not copy it. Okay. I will save this as a batch file. I will save this as my batch file. I will call this as Walmart _ employee _ batch .bat, and we'll save this as a batch file, and I will save it in this. Go to desktop, and go data, and then I will save it here. Okay. Now I don't even need this. Okay. See, I will get rid of this bad file because it will get generated every time. I will get this of this log file. Now, let me truncate this table. I don't have to truncate this table. I am just showing that now just with one click, data got loaded. With just one click, data got loaded. So let me explain this process a little bit. Rename, and this is SQL loader. In interview, they will ask you, I have a file with 1 million records. How will you load it into a table? Do not say Power Center. Power Center will take a lot of time. SQL loader will do it in seconds. Okay, there are some limitations of SQL loader. I will cover that. Okay. So I have a table and I have a flat file. I want to load this data from flat file. I want to load data from flat file. ID name. I want to load data from this flat file. They send you this flat file as an email. And they ask you to load this data to this table. So what will you do? You will create a control file. This control file, you will give the location of this file, and you will give the location of this table HR schema, and it will say separated by. Okay. Now, in this control file, you will also say generate the log file. Okay. Sorry. No, you have a flat file, you have a table. Okay, you will have to write a control file. In the control file, you will say pick up data from this flat file and load it to this table. Okay. So you will have to go back to your this command prompt and type in SQL loader, user ID, password. You will have to give the control file location, and this is optional, the log file. Okay. Then this control file, whatever you have, you don't have to type this every time. So you will create a batch file here. That batch file, once you double click on this batch file, it will go call the control file. This control file will go pick up data from this flat file and load it to the table. Is this clear? With just one click, I can load millions of records to that table. This is clear to everyone. Very important interview question.
So the condition is the table has to be empty or
Table?
newly created.
No, table doesn't have to be empty.
Okay. So it will override data?
It will only override data if you put this word in the control file. Only if you put this word truncate. If you do not put this, see what happens. It will fail because it will say table is not empty.
Right.
So is the table empty right now? No, the table is not empty. Okay. So when I double click on my batch file, this I only did it for my use. I don't want to go here and type this every time and hit enter. I just created a batch file. Double click on this. See, oh, it says, no, not this one. It closed and opened and closed. This is the, so anyways, so nothing happened there. So if you see, if you check the log file, let me refresh this. So if you check the log file, it will say, it gives an error message. For insert option, table must be empty, error on table. So nothing got loaded in this table. Okay, nothing got loaded in this table. So you have to use the word truncate. The table is just like this. Either you have to use the word truncate or manually truncate this table. Try to avoid as much as manual intervention as possible. It should be just one click. Okay. So this is a concept of SQL loader. It's very important. There's slight limitations. The limitations is table should be empty. You can only use this to load data from a file to a table. And what if you want to load only the first 3 characters? What if you want to load only the first character, something like that? No, that will not work. Actually, let me try that actually. No, I didn't actually. Let me just try it. I remember somebody telling me that you cannot use and you cannot transform the data. Like you cannot say just load the first character or the second character or something. Let me open my control file. I don't think you can. You don't have to know this. If you do it, it's good. Otherwise, you don't have to know all of this. I never tried this. It's SUBSTR name 1, 1. Then this is the object type. Okay, let me try this. Oh, wait. Let me also put the word truncate. Let me edit this file. Yeah, it doesn't work. Let me see what the logs say. Yeah, unimplemented feature. The way they give you data, you have to load the way as is. Okay, the way they give you data, you have to load as is. So this feature is very useful if they give you data and you just want to load it as is. Okay, so this is called as bulk load. Okay, this is called as bulk load. They give you millions of records. Okay, you will not open Power Center, you will not open SQL Developer or anything. Okay, all you have to do is just create a control file, tell where the table is present. You don't even have to open SQL Developer, and it can load data. Okay, let me just edit the control file and get rid of all of this. So let me just double click on this batch script. Now, previously I did not have any records. I will have 3 records now. When I double click on this batch file, what is this batch file doing? It is saying, call this control file. It will log into the database and then it will call this control file. Batch script will call control file. What will control file do? It will call this file. So batch script is calling the control file is calling this flag file, and then it will load data into this table just with just one click.
So is there a way to see the data in that table without using a developer?
You can use SQL Plus.
Or No, I mean to say just like you can see a text file just by doing more or cat or
No,
whatever. Is is there a file for the table that you can look in?
no.
Okay.
Is this clear to everyone?
Abdul, I have a question. Let's say we have an Excel sheet. So we have received the data in Excel sheet, not a flat file. So do we need to change anything on the batch file
Can you say that again? I think your voice.
format of the file? It's not a flat file. Let's say it's an Excel file.
Yeah, it can be any file.
Can you
Let's
show
try
us
that.
how to do that for the Excel file? And one more question. Let's say we don't have the table structure in the database. I don't have the, because you first created the table and then you insert it, right? Let's say I don't
Table has
want
to be present.
to.
Table has to be present. Otherwise, if the table is not present, where will you load data, right?
Let's say if we do in a SQL developer, you don't have to create a table and then load the data.
Yeah, but yeah, with SQL Developer, you can log in and create tables. But SQL Developer and this SQL Developer and SQL Plus, they're both the same things. They're both the same thing. They are both used to query data from the database. Yeah, you can create a table from here and then execute the control file. Okay, let me try.
Yes, please, just show the example.
Okay, you have data in an Excel. Let me try this. Okay. But over here, it's not comma separated, right?
No.
It's not comma separated. So I will have to adjust this. It's tab separated. Truncate this table. I don't have to truncate, but just make sure that it is. Execute this. No, it gave an error message.
Well, in Excel, you identify data as cell
String.
location. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean like column or row, something like that.
Just try it out. How to just do a Google and see if you are. I have never done it. We always receive text files. This is SQL loader. It's Excel. SQL loader to load data from Excel spreadsheet. Okay. It has to be saved in a CSV format. Okay, you have to save this in
Limited.
Yeah, you have to save this in Power Center. Also, you can load data from flat file to table. If they give you Excel, you have to convert it to CSV format. So you have to say save as. comma delimited, and so you have to convert it to, yeah, over here. This is CSV format, comma separated. Okay, now you can use .csv. Open your control file. In Power Center also you have the same problem. You cannot load, you can load data from flat file to table. If you give you Excel, you have to convert it to CSV. You can write a script. You don't have to do this manually. You can write a script to convert Excel to CSV. Okay, let's try this out. Fields separated by comma. Okay, let me truncate this table. This table is empty. Let me just double click on this. Yeah, it worked. So Excel means you have to convert it to CSV. Is that clear? Okay. So you don't have to convert it to manually. You can write a script to convert. So you can say convert .xlsx to .csv script. Using batch. So how do you do it? Okay, so you can just put this in your, so if somebody gives you an Excel file, all you have to do is go to your batch script and open with Notepad++. So the first thing you want to do is convert this one to this one, and let's get the path. Yeah, what is the XLX? I'm going to delete the CSV. I'm going to delete the CSV, and I'm going to take this and say, then I want to convert this to CSV. Okay. So as soon as you double click on this batch script, first thing it will do is it will convert this to this one, and then it will call the SQL loader. It will call the control file. In the control file, it will pick up this .csv and then load it. Let's try it out. So I don't even have CSV here. Okay, somebody provided this Excel file to me. Okay, and let me truncate this table. It did not. Okay, it did convert it to .csv. No, it converted to some weird. No, it converted to dot. Now it doesn't have any data in it. Okay, it did convert it to .csv. Into CSV. Oh, sorry, my mistake. My mistake. Sorry. It did convert, but it did. Okay, let me get rid of it. See, it's file.walmart. Okay, I don't know why I had that. Okay, let me get rid of the log file. Let me get rid of this. Let's put it in batch. Let me get rid of this. Okay, at work, they will provide you this. This and this you will have to write. Okay, they gave you an Excel. In the batch script, in the batch script, you will have to convert that XLX to CSV. The control file will pick up, then the control file will get called. What is the control file doing? the control file will go and pick up the .csv and then load it into this table. So one will call another. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding. So let me call this. Okay, again, no records got loaded for some reason. What is the error? Okay, let me see if the CSV. Okay, 1 second, it's empty. 1 second, it's empty. So it's converting this XLX to CSV. See, it's 0 KB. So I think we'll have to figure that out. After installing, I'm not sure, but yeah, you can play around with that. Excel to csv.bat. I don't know, let me try this. But you guys get the idea, right? You have to convert it to Excel to a CSV. I don't want something, I don't want to write something too big. Look at it. I know how to manually convert it and run it, but it should be part of your just one click. This should get converted to this. Control file will pick up this and load it into this table. Is that clear to everyone? Similarly, so SQL loader can be only used to import data from flat file and load it to a table, or an CSV and load it to a table. Let's talk about export. Let's talk about export. Okay, how can you export data? So once again, there is a shortcut. You can right click, you can say export, and you can say export data. And over here, you can say in the form of text. I don't want any enclosure. I don't want any write enclosure. Single file. I think I showed this before. I want to save this on my desktop, and then I want to call this as emp_2020. Save, and I want to store it in a text format. I don't want to export DDL, all of this. Okay, I don't want to export DDLs. I only want single files, encoding, write enclosure, none. I want the headers, line terminator. Yeah, I'll keep that, and then browse. I will say I want it in a .txt format. Next, and finish. So if you go to your desktop, do you see this emp_2020? Yep. Wait, I did something wrong. So go back here, right click, export. Okay, export data, and I will say text file. I don't want this. I don't want this. Something like this. Oh, I don't think I saved it on my desktop. Sorry, let me try again. So there is a shortcut, right? Just like how we imported export data. I want in a text format, no left enclosure, no right enclosure. And I don't want it on the C user. I want to export it to my desktop. I'll just call it PMPL. Save it on my desktop. Save. Next. It's not exporting data. It is not exporting the data.
We have the data in the table.
Oh, there is no data in it. Okay, let me pick up. Sorry, good point. Let me pick up employees. I think I showed you employees, right? How to export employees data. So there is one way you can do Control A, Control C. You can open a text file. You can open an Excel and you can paste it here like this. You can paste it like this, or you can right click on the employees table, export. Then you don't want DDL and all that. You can say export data. I don't want the insert statements. I want just the text data, no left enclosure, no right enclosure, and single file. And I want to save this on my desktop. And I will say amp_20. And then I want to save it in a text file. So desktop, save, next, finish. So this is one way of, okay, this is one way. You guys see my screen? So this is one way of exporting data. There is another way, okay? There is another way of exporting data. Why is it saying no?
Abdul, is there a way to do a select all command and then send the output to a file?
No, there is no select command and send output to a file. No.
Okay.
No, you cannot do that. Can somebody share screen? And I don't remember my password. I'm going to stop presenting. I'll show you how to export data and then that's it. That should wait. Somebody share screen, please. Somebody sharing screen? Okay. Okay, let's export data from employees table.
You guys see my screen?
Yeah. Let's export data from employees table into a flat file. This is the opposite of what we were doing so far. Okay, this is the opposite of what we were doing so far. Just do select star from HR.employees. Okay, now let's export data from this into a flat file. Open your SQL loader. Open your SQL Plus. So go to your start and type in SQL. Yeah, hit enter. Okay. One way is use the SQL developer, right click, export, 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 and save it. Over here, type in set space heading of and hit enter of OFF. Just hit the up arrow. You don't have to type everything. Just hit the up arrow. Just hit the up arrow on your keyboard. Are you hitting the up arrow? Yeah, type in F again. If you hit the up arrow, it will type what the last statement you type. Hit enter. Type in set page size 0. Set page size. Once again, all of this can be part of a bash script. You double click and it will execute. 0. And hit enter. Oh, sorry, hit the up arrow and type in O, not 0. And hit enter. Oh, word. Hit the up arrow, move to your left. Keep moving to your left and get rid of that space between page and size. Hit enter. Set page size, one word. Okay, type in.
Yeah.
Type in. You got rid of the space between set and page. No. Space. Set space.
Set
Page.
word. Yeah.
Hit enter.
It's 0, not O.
Type in 0. Hit enter. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Right.
So it's set heading off. Set page size 0. Now type in spool. Okay. Actually, open a notepad. You don't have to type here. Open a notepad. We'll type in a notepad and paste it here. Open a notepad. So this is how you export text document. Okay, double click on that. Type in set space heading of set space heading space of. Go to hit enter. Type in set space page size space 0. Page size is one word. Yeah, 0. And then type in, hit enter. Type in spool. And then where do you want to save this on your desktop? You want to save this on your desktop? Okay. So right click on anything on your desktop. Right click on anything on your desktop. Yeah, right click on anything. Yeah, right click on that. Go to properties. Copy this. Copy the C users administrators desktop. Copy this entire thing. Let's save this on your desktop. Okay. Paste and then backslash. And then just type in employees.txt. Hit enter. And then just type in select employee underscore ID, employee underscore ID, comma first underscore name, comma salary, from same line, on the same line, type in same line, from HR.employees. And go to the next line and type in spool of. Okay, copy the first two lines. Copy the first two lines. Okay, and then go to your SQL Plus. You have your SQL Plus open, right? Open your, yeah, right click and paste and hit enter. Okay, right click. Oh, sorry, go back to your notepad and copy the spool command. Spool will open up a file. Just copy the spool command and go back and paste it there. Right click, hit enter. Hit enter. Okay, it will open up a file. See, it opened up a file on the top. Don't open it. Don't open it. Okay. Now it is waiting for what to insert. So go back and type in select, copy the select employee ID, first name, salary, and then paste it here. Just that line. And paste it and hit enter. Hit enter. And hit enter. And then go back and copy the spool off. Actually, put a yeah. Go back there. Put a semicolon and hit enter. Hit enter. You got disconnected. Open the employees.txt file. I don't think it's anything is there. No. Okay, close it. Delete that employees.txt. Okay, do the same thing again. Delete that employees.txt. You already have it.
The file is opened by some program.
The file is already open there, right? Okay, just type in spool off over here. Just type in spool off because the file is open. It's waiting. Yeah, hit enter. Okay, double click on the file now.
No, delete it.
Okay, delete this. Now delete the file. Okay, go back to your notepad and start again. Copy the first two lines and paste it there. Copy, yeah, just copy that one. Hit enter. Hit enter again. Okay. And now go back. Copy the select statement. Okay, paste it there. Hit enter. And hit enter again. No. Hit enter. Okay. And now say spool off. Hit enter. Now double click on the file. I'm not sure. It's copying the select statement. It's not. Okay, go back to your SQL. Go back to your SQL. Close this. Okay. Hit the up arrow. Sorry. Go back to your SQL plus. Hit the up arrow. One more time. Keep hitting it. Hit it one more time. Hit it one more time. Hit it one more time. Okay. Hit enter. Okay. Now hit the up arrow. Everything is saved here. Keep hitting the up arrow. One more time. One more time. One more time. Yeah, hit enter. Go down. Yeah, hit enter. Okay, go back to your notepad. So you don't have to go back to your notepad. You can have everything saved there. But go back to your notepad. Copy the spool command. And right click and paste and hit enter. Copy the that select statement.
Abdul, do I need to put that semicolon on after the employees?
No, you don't need to put a semicolon. Hit enter and put a hold on one second. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Okay, put a forward slash. No, that is backslash. Hit enter. Do spool off. I don't know why it's doing that. Do spool off. Enter. Check your Can you check your employees.txt? Check the employees.txt, not this. On your desktop. No. You're doing something wrong here. Okay, just Google how to export data with SQL Plus, okay? We'll see it tomorrow.
Just try to connect also HR schema in the SQL, see how you can connect it or not.
No, you're connected. Go back to your, open your SQL Plus.
It's not connected, that's why.
No, go to your SQL Plus. Oh, that's why. Okay, type in connect. Oh, maybe that's why. Space HR // // and type in your password here. Hit enter. No, it says invalid username. That's not the right password.
Go check SQL developer, see the password.
No, SQL developer will not have password. It's hidden.
But at least you can see how many digits it is.
Yeah, you can see that.
No, I know that it's the password. I remember password.
Is it the database password?
Okay, can I try one more password?
Yeah.
So should I do like a connect and go ahead HR / after that password, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me try one more time.
Type in connect. Yeah.
I tried. I can be able to connect it.
Oh, so now you're connected.
Yes.
Now you're connected. Okay. Now type in your I thought you were connected. No, go back to close this file. Okay. Copy paste the, because I thought you were connected to HR schema. Okay. Right click, hit enter. Okay. Now go back. Write the spool command. Hit enter. Okay. Go back and copy the select command. Right click and paste. Hit enter. Hit enter again. Okay. And now put the spool off. Now check the file if the data got exported. No. No. Just look into it.
I didn't delete this one while we were doing. Maybe it's the problem. So
delete
can
what?
I didn't delete this one and create it again. So
Okay,
you want me to...
delete it. I think that shouldn't matter. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So this is the opposite of SQL loader. It's export.
Put the spool off or just enter here.
Put a //
And enter, right?
Yeah. Okay, and
Nice.
then do spool off.
It's created, I think.
Now can you check the data?
Because as you see here, it says 107. Yep.
Yep. So just write down those steps. So this is how you.
Oh, don't
Yeah. Get
like that, and it's gonna be, I think, here we should
hit
do.
enter and put a forward slash. Yeah.
Do you want me to send this one to everybody, or?
Try it one last time and delete your employees file.
Okay.
And try it one more time. Oh no, here, delete the employees. Yeah. Get rid of this also. Okay, now try it again.
Okay.
So spool will open up a file. Immediately you will see on the top.
Yeah, it created already.
Yeah, but it will be empty.
Now we're gonna create here. We're gonna do forward slash.
Yes, and spool off.
Spool off.
Spool off means it will load the data and it will exit out. Now you see the data, right?
Yes.
So in interview, they will ask you if you have a table with millions of records, how will you do it? You're not going to say right click, export, 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 or copy the data and put it in an Excel. You will use SQL command.
Okay, this is the
spool off
command, right?
Yeah. Now,
this should answer.
Yeah, this should work. Now, can you go back to the file?
Yeah.
Double click on your file.
This one?
Yeah, double click on your file. So the assignment here is, I don't want to see the SQL, select employee ID, first name, salary, I only want to see 100, Steven, and 24,000. I don't want to see that. Scroll to the bottom. I also don't want to see the 107 rows selected and SQL pull off. There is a very small change which you have to do. Try to do this as the assignment, and do the previous assignment also, the triggers assignment. Okay.
Number 7. Yes.
Yeah, number 7. We only did the first 2 questions. Do the rest of the questions. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody has any questions?
No.
Okay. So we will meet on Saturday. Saturday will be the final class. We will cover the analytical functions. We will cover rank, dense rank, nth value, list ag, all of those. So go through that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll see you guys on Saturday.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Rami on profesöre sorusu.
Anything, trouble. I copied already, pasted to the chat.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Oldu Şalar, sağ olun.
Sağ olun, sağ olun. Tural, bu zəngiləmə evi də unutmayacağım. Borcum olsun.
Hansı?
Hə, o arada ilk gün oynatmağa problem yoxdur.
Beyazdan ne fikir gelmiyor da.
Hə, Tural. Tural. Sən bir də elə zəngiləsən, müəllimi də qoşacağım qrup kola, deyəcəm, açılan mı bir-birinə baxsın. Yox, elə bil ki, mən hər gün oturub sysdb-dən zaten komand yazıram, bir hissənir mənə. Qatıq köpək o birinci səfər ömrümdə görürəm qara ekranı.
Yani başım bir şey.
Orada danışmayın da sonra
Tamam yaparım.
səslərə qulaq asın.
Tamam, tamam.
Kulak aslan olar ki.